want to show you another way we make firewood today, another easier way. You guys want to stick around and see this. In the meantime, I got the old 310 with the iron cap pipe on it. Put a different chain on it today. She's wore back to just about nothing, to where it really cuts good. Those of you guys that's been following along and kind of seen some of the hints, you'll know I need a chain to cut the teeth off of. Some of you know why I'm doing it, and a lot of you don't know why I'm doing it. Well, that's because I charge cutting firewood by the hour, see, so I got to take the teeth off. We got the bar on upside down today, right? We're going to be cutting up a lot. I was going to turn the dogs over too, just haven't went that far yet. We got to get some fuel mixed up, non-ethanol fuel, and I don't have any problem with fuel lines and letting it all set for 6 months and firing it up. And I know there's a lot of discussion on the internet about what oils to use and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's the best, but I do make a mix. There's a good chance it will be doing a lot of bore cutting. Well, I got an oil for that too. Tanaka made some great two-stroke drills. Highline crews used them a lot. Little two-stroke power drill. I pour just a little bit of that in there too, and that'll help with your bore cutting. This is made for drills, see, so I'm gonna be using this for a drill some. Let's go cut some wood and quit BSing each other. You don't need this grapple, except for odd stuff like this. I'm going to show you another way here that I actually use just as often, if not more often. But let me get this off here, because this a little bit oversized and cumbersome for my other way. I'm getting some of this nasty stuff out of the way. What I really want to show you is this other tool. Had a little fun there. If you can't have fun, work ain't worth a damn. And if you're having fun, work ain't work. That's kind of a conundrum. If you like to work and you're having fun, then it ain't work, so then you don't get to work. I don't know where to stop. That piece of maple there, that's 28-inch bar there, so there's what she is. I don't know, she's sawing pretty good. I'm going to switch this grapple out here now, and I want to show you guys, I want to show you one step of what this next thing's going to do for us. Guys, there's the next step. I want to show you there's two good ways to use this. Well, there's multiple good ways to use it. Two good ways that I use it. Get my earplugs mashed back in their case so I ain't gonna holler at you and don't lose them. Cheaper than a broom. I got $75 in it, plus I don't think I had to buy the hoses. I think I had them on hand. I mean, I had to buy them at some point, I guess, but out of pocket, we're sitting at $75 here, and then this skid steer plate was, I don't remember, it was 90 something. It's either 5/16 or 3/8. Feels like 3/8. Could even be half inch, don't remember. But anyhow, this was a 3-point hitch log splitter that run off the tractor. Meaning it used tractor hydraulics. It didn't have its own motor or nothing else. You hooked it up to the tractor, but there was a valve for this. That was all junk. The hoses was junk. The only thing good on it was a cylinder in this beam and the wedge. The basics of it was right. I welded that to a skid steer plate. I welded it to it upside down, so it comes down over the log instead of putting the log on top of it. I want to show you the two ways this thing is just awesome. It has saved me so much. For me, it don't work real good for splitting down to small stuff, but it'll take big stuff like that maple and split it down to manageable. I don't have to water them big pieces. If you're getting the market looking for them, my advice is worth exactly what you pay. Exactly. Maybe not quite that much, figuring in inflation and all. I like the splitting wedge. I like the wedge on the front of the bar. Most of your gas-powered log splitters, the wedge is on the ram. But the reason being, I can pick up a log, I can shove that through. I just shove it through, and if something don't shove all the way through, I'm not pulling it back with my ram. It's stuck up there on the wedge. I'll just pick up another piece and just shove her on through their daisy chain style. I really like them backwards of what you normally have it. I ain't showed you guys the easy way to do firewood yet, but we're getting ready to. because we don't like to pay full price for nothing. That skid steer mount you just seen, that's homemade too. This skid steer never come with quick attach. You can see I shut it off all the time. And that's because centering valves. When I bought this thing on auction, somebody reached in there and just fired it up, one of the auction hands, and it like killed everybody in the crowd. And I kind of knew what was wrong with it, or had a good idea. They were disconnected, or springs was broke, or a combination, or whatever. Actually, this thing didn't even sell on auction that day. I went back by there the next day, and I knew the auctioneer, and I was bidding on it. And I had to bid, but it was no sale. So I asked him what it'd take to buy it. Yeah, he just gave me the name of the owner. And that guy, he actually gave it to me less than what I bid the day before. And he said, if you want her, I'll take this for it. I think it was $3,000. I don't know. Worst purchase ever made in my life. I hate it. If I'd have never bought this, if this thing ever goes craps on me, it's going to cost me $20,000 to replace it, and I can't do without it no more. I wish I'd have never bought it. It's the worst purchase I ever made in my life. It's going to end up costing me money, and I hate spending money. Now with it picked up in this like yet, that will tweak that I-beam a little bit. I've never sprung it, but it will go back and forth. So a guy does need to work back and forth. But I can saw all the way to the middle this way.
My pappy said, son, you're going to drive me to drugs if you don't quit porting them chainsaws jugs. Have you heard the story of the work saw race where Iron Horse and Tin Man were setting the pace? That story's true. I know the deal because I was running a hot rod Stihl.
Now you guys will see I've been cutting down all the time. You'll see where running that bar upside down really shines now.
It's got a clamshell motor and it's really souped up. That cracked top cover makes it look like a pup. It's got a 20-inch bar and it uses it all with 30,000 acres. It just won't stall. It's got a ported intake and Iron Horse exhaust with an 810 sprocket. You can really get lost. It goes through white oak just like it's pine. The crank is good and the piston's fine. Walked out to the woods one cool day. It was easy to see winters headed this way. I was barred in deep, laying on the dogs, loving my saws and bucking some logs. All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, a logger with a husky passed me by. I said, "Look out, boys, that's a saw for me." By then, sawdust was all you could see. Now the fellas all know I run my saws a little fat, but I couldn't let a husky get away with that. Pulled out my screwdriver and without a doubt, I turned the high jet and I leaned her out. Wound it up to 15.6, going through logs just like they're sticks. The saw was pulling hard and on the pipe for sure. That's all they is. They ain't no more. Boys all thought I was crazy as hell. Sawdust looked like a rooster's tail. They said, "Slow down, your crank's gonna bust." The chain's throwing noodles, not just dust. Smoke was coming from under the cover when I started to catch that husky lover. I knew I could outcut him and his husky cull, but what did you know, by then my chain's getting dull. We had real fine dust coming out of the side. The bar was turning blue. Man, what a ride. I said, look out, boys, this baby will cut. He loaded up his Husky and got back in his truck. Now all of a sudden my stall started shaking. I didn't chamfer enough, the Nickel was flaking. I looked at the ground, my ball oil was leaking. I'd give that carb too much tweaking. I stripped us all down and put it on the bench, called my pappy to bring me a wrench. He said, son, you're going to drive me to drugs if you don't quit hoarding them chain saw jugs.
She's a gas hog, boys. And girls and women and children. Well guys, I think we got this chain wore down good enough. We don't have to feel bad about just taking a gas hatchet and cutting teeth off of it. Oh, she's stretching bad. That's just the way I want it. Cut the teeth off. Now we can do something fine.